again with today's weapons from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Out here again at the beautiful Kent County Conservation League in Ada, Michigan. Coming here today with a little bit of a test evaluation of 3 guns. One that's a new kid on the block, the H&K VP9 from Heckler & Koch. This is a striker-fired 9mm pistol that H&K has high hopes for of competing with the big boys on the block, meaning the Glock series pistols, model 17 Gen 4 and 19 Gen 4. And then also too to go head to head against the M&P pistol and the 6 Hour 320. Today we're going to be looking at the 3 guns that I mentioned, the Glock 17 Gen 4, the Glock 19 Gen 4, and the new VP 9mm. This is quite a neat entry into the striker-fired game by H&K. They originally came out with, of course, the VP 70, and that was decades ago. But to have a modern striker-fired 9mm pistol that is a very, very nice gun. A lot of cool things about this gun is that you can adjust the back panels and the side panels now. Glock, of course, with their Generation 4, made it available to have your back strap adjustable, and then they went with the back strap that has a beaver tail extension on it, which does a nice job. One of the things that we can tell right away with the H&K, just looking at it, was that you have a higher bore axis with the H&K than you do the Glock 17 pistol. With the Glock here, if you look at it from the back here, you can see where the bore sits a little bit higher, but the H&K sports a less of a barrel angle when it unlocks. So there's some things here that these guns should be pretty equal. They're both state-of-the-art. The Glock grip, of course, is known throughout the world. The H&K, of course, this is a modern design. They have some nicer finger grooves. The hand just melts right into this. So it's a very nice gun. I'm looking forward to putting some rounds through this thing. We're going to be shooting at a distance of 4 yards away, and we're going to be using a typical M-Coles target. This is the Michigan Coalition for Law Enforcement Standards. Pretty typical target. We put an aiming point in the middle. That will be what we're going for. And again, tight shot groups is not necessarily what we're looking for. We're looking for controllability, muzzle rise. So we're just going to kind of go old school 15-round magazine dump here and kind of see what we're working with. Pretty controlled, nice shot group. First one went a little bit low left, just kind of getting used to the gun. A little bit different than the Glock, but very similar in some ways too. So very nice, very easy gun to shoot. That's promising. High rate of fire. I'm used to the Glock. It's my duty gun. Wonderful gun to shoot. And again, the Glock 19, I think, is probably the one gun that satisfies everybody's needs. The gun shoots just as good as its bigger brother and more favorable concealability. As you can see, if you want to come on down range here, definitely a difference between being used to a gun and not used to a gun. Even though the shots are fairly well clustered together, had initial pull with one down. Of course, it had the same thing with the 17, but a little bit tighter shot group. Again, I'm used to this gun. This gun's been with me since '93 when we went to them. And of course, the Model 19 is a very controllable gun, both Generation 4s. One of the things I can say about the VP9 is that grip is just a very sweet grip to feel. Some of the things that this gun's bringing to the table for some of the shooters out there, it's got some nice innovations. The ambidextrous magazine releases. So if you have somebody in the house that's a left-handed shooter, the other one's a right-handed shooter, you don't have to go ahead and switch the magazine release from one side to the other. The gun can serve both folks. Also too, you have an ambidextrous slide catch. So if you're a left-handed shooter, you can use your left thumb. What I find that I do with the H&K guns, of course, is instead of moving it to my hand to let the magazine go, I can use my trigger finger to come down here, and that's just your personal preference. Down. For those of you that are frustrated sometimes with taking your Glock apart, this gun again is very simple. Straight down with the takedown lever, and the gun simply just comes apart. There's no pulling of the trigger or anything else. Real straightforward design. With back assembling the gun, lock and slide to the rear. Your takedown lever goes back into place, back into functioning. One of the things that you'll look at too on the trigger as it comes to the rear, it breaks. You see there's still quite an area of openness here between the trigger and the frame, and reset is back out to here. So a lot of area of space there. Unlike the Glock, where you see we're in the forward position, trigger comes almost all the way to the back, reset is out to here. So you have a little bit less of a trigger reach for the Glock pistol. For those of you that are looking at this with smaller hands, the Glock I still think has a little bit shorter reach to it. Mark again with today's weapons. We're out here again at the beautiful facility at the Kent County Conservation League, located in Ada, Michigan. And again, today we're working with the new H&K VP9, Victor Paul 9, in 9mm. We're going to be going up against the old standard bearers, the Glock 17 and 19 Generation 4s. And we're going to work now with some double taps off the clock, kind of see what we get time-wise as we start to get a little trigger time with this gun, and see where this goes. .96. Alright, we're going to do some strings of double taps followed by a precision headshot, so it'll be a 3-shot. That was a good recovery. 104. Very smooth, very smooth. 117. Very smooth. As that gun comes up, it's very Glock-like, and that's probably the highest compliment I can give a gun. That recovers very nicely. If you take a look at that, it's definitely becoming well-centered, and it's very easy to start acquiring the target with this pistol. So, as we transition over to the Glock 17, we'll do the same thing, a couple of double taps followed by some 3-shot drills. Almost, I want to say that you can feel that dual recoil spring assembly in the Glock pistol, a little bit lighter recoil. I gotta say, I'm not trying to be biased. You can see my headphones and hat all say Glock all over them, but almost a little less muzzle flip. You can feel that lower bore axis and that dual recoil spring. 0.87. .91. Again, very familiar, of course. So one more set. Very smooth. That's yeah, we'll do the 3-shot drill. That's 0.89. It's just, I'm so used to this gun, it's just hard to beat it. But that H&K is a very smooth. 1.9. Clear. Yeah, I mean, it's old hometown week here, obviously, with the Glock pistol. Shots, of course, well placed. That was a 1.03. Again, I'm up in this high retention running. I'm trying to be as scientific as I can about it, but it's these are all great guns. These are all great guns. Okay, this would be the Glock 19 Generation 4. .91. .95. She can't edit that one out. Tried to get too fast on the reset. Alright, this will be 3-shot drill. .103. The negligible difference between this mid-size Glock 19 and the Model 17 and the VP9. And one last shot. Yeah, these are great guns, folks. Obviously, so familiar with the Glock that it's hard to. But this H&K, if you're looking for the newest state-of-the-art, and you're an H&K fan, and let's face it, who isn't? This is a beautiful gun to shoot. It's very accommodating. I love the ambidextrous of it. It's a very accurate gun, and that'll probably be the last thing we do here is just a 5-shot group for just pure accuracy. See how the gun works. It's I like it. That distance is here about 4 or 5 yards out, but this will be just an accuracy test, just 5 rounds, just to see how. Again, it isn't how accurate the gun is, it's how I'm going to adapt to this gun. Obviously, I don't have a lot of trigger time with it. We just took it out of the box to fire it. So we're going to do 5-shot group, no time limit, just to kind of see where we're at with this thing. Glock 17, Glock 19, I don't think it really matters. We'll do just a 5-shot, no time limit. Alright. Come down range here and take a peek. I pulled the 1 shot down. That's 4 shots inside this area, and one that was my fault. Again, H&K accuracy. Nobody can argue against that. What you're seeing here, folks, is again my familiarity with the Glock and top-notch ammunition, 147 grain American Eagle 9mm. I mean, that's speaks for itself. That's a testament to the gun and the ammo, not me. So again, equal accuracy. The Generation 4 Glock does have a less of an impulse, but it's minuscule. I do love the H&K. A bit of the trigger time that we had out here today with these combat related targets are great. I think if you buy this gun for personal defense or for just pleasure shooting, I think you're going to be well served with any of them. The new H&K is priced very reasonably. It was within about $150 of the Glock. So I think is a great viable option. We don't have the SIG 320 out here today, but I do have a little bit of trigger time with that, and I can tell you that even though the SIG is a nice gun, I would buy the H&K well before I would the SIG Sauer 320, and that's just my personal opinion. You know, so But take it from here. Again, this is Mark with Today's Weapons out here at the beautiful Kent County Conservation Training Range, and we'll talk to you soon.